Hey, welcome back to the Soul Pod. This is Stacy. This video is going to be for you if you're kind of drifting through life, unsure where you're going, and kind of not sure what direction you're heading or what it is that you want. You ever feel that? We all do at some point. Even if you've got a really solid direction now, I'm willing to bet that at one point or another you got off track. So if you're off track or you're just feeling adrift, this is for you. If you're not, hey man, skip, go to the next video. Um, but come back to this if you ever get off track, because I'm here to help. I think we're getting some really cool glare here, so excuse me for that. I don't feel like putting in contacts today. So this applies to just about anybody at one point or another, because like I said, sometimes we all get off track a little. The best-selling author Wayne Dyer said, "Our intentions create our reality. Our intentions create our reality." What he's talking about is intention, and about the fact that without intention, we're kind of at the mercy of the winds, right? You get in a boat, you don't raise the sails, and the wind's going to blow you wherever it's going. Now, if you get in a boat and you know where you're going and you point the boat in the right direction, you handle that rudder, you're much more likely to get there. But if you don't know where you're going, it's a problem because now you're just at the mercy of whatever comes your way. If you have an idea what you want, set an intention, you're more likely to get there. Now, you may not get exactly there, but you're not going to just end up wherever the wind blows you, right? You're going to be a lot closer to the mark. Even if you don't hit that thing you're aiming for, you're at least going to be close to the same continent, right? And that's what we all want. The trick is knowing what it is you want. What is your intention? What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want from life? Do you know? What's your current reality? I've had a lot of current realities that I wasn't happy with, that I had to change. And I changed them with intention. Everything I've accomplished in life where I got to the thing that I wanted was from intention. I've been published twice. So I've written two books, written a third book, working on getting that one published. Keep your eyes out for that one. I've done all kinds of amazing stuff. I did stand up comedy. I've done all these different things. Wild trips to places I never thought I would go. Every one of these things that I look back at with happiness that I did them, great memories about them. Uh, they all came from intent. Intent. I didn't end up where I was going out of luck. There is no magic fairy that comes down and goes, poof, I'm going to do your thinking for you and give you that thing that you don't even know you want. You have to know you want it. You have to know you want it. And if you know you want it, the good news is you're much more likely to get it. That's a beautiful thing. This isn't a new secret. This isn't something new age, wooey. You hear about intention all the time. It's like, oh, it's all about intention. It sounds a little new agey, but it's not. Henry David Thoreau, more than 100 years ago, was talking about this, the human condition and intention. He said, I know of no more encouraging fact than the unquestionable ability of man to elevate his life by conscious endeavor. A lot of words. Thoreau had this way of speaking like he was speaking Old English or writing like he's writing Old English. So, what he really means is this: if you know what you want, you're more likely to get it, right? And he also is saying, he calls it a fact and the unquestionable ability of man. Excuse me, ladies, it's Old English. He's talking about everybody, he's talking about humans in general. But conscious endeavor, he says, conscious endeavor. That's basically, it's a fact, and that it's an unquestionable ability to do this if you do it consciously. If you make an intention, you're more likely to get there. So if you feel like you're adrift, we're going to work on this today. We're going to work on getting your conscious endeavor going on, get your intention all turned up, and get you pointed in the right direction. Are you ready? Before we get going, I got to point out one really important thing. Thoreau's idea about conscious endeavor and intention, if you make an intention, and Wayne Dyer's, if you make an intention, you're more likely to make it there. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. And what that means is if you don't, you ain't getting there, right? If you know where you want to go, you're much more likely to land pretty close to it, right? Now, on your journey through life. If you don't, you're going to get whatever's handed to you. You're going to get the leftovers. You're going to get whatever. Your accomplishments will be next to nothing because you don't know what you want. Now, intention, whether you get it or not, well, that's up to you, right? but you won't get it. Almost certainly not unless you have an idea what you want. So grab a pen and paper, start thinking about it because it would help to write it down. That's powerful. What is it that you want to do that you're not doing? What is it that you want to accomplish that you're not accomplishing? I'm serious. Write it down. Write it down. Put it in front of you. Keep it in front of you every day. Put it on a damn post-it note and stick it on your mirror. It's not wishing. It's aligning your actions with your intentions. If every day you get up and you go, oh, that's right, I want to learn how to play the guitar. Oh, I want to go to Scotland. Whatever it is, I want to be a multimillionaire. You're not going to get there by just going, oh, that'd be cool. That'd be neat if I was rich and I could go wherever I want and do whatever. Yeah, people don't get wealthy doing that. People don't go on great adventures doing that. Luck doesn't just come along and swoop you up. It has to be intention. We like that story. It's nice. Luke Skywalker had no intentions and he ended up saving the universe, right? That was good. It's a story. You actually have to have intention and you have to be out for it. So, what's your intention? Write it down. If you're not sure, if you're unsure about, getting motivated about this, go back and watch any video in my thread with the words meaning or motivation. There's almost everything I do has something to do with meaning and motivation, meaning and purpose specifically, because we are in a meaning crisis, and I think that's the number one problem that people struggle with today. But just use those terms, meaning or motivation, and you'll find a bunch of good videos in there, and that'll help you sort of start to align a little bit. Now, intention is the key. Intention is the key. I'm going to give you an analogy. Let's say you get in your car, you have a full tank, and you're going to go, baby. You're just going to go. And you go. You might have an interesting adventure. But if you know where you want to go, you're going to end up there more likely if you plug in your GPS and follow the directions, right? You just go. You could just go anywhere. And sometimes that's nice. Sometimes that's nice. Like I love a good wandering trip. I usually have a direction now. At least, okay, I'm going to go east on I-80 for X amount of time because this is how much time I have. And then I intentionally go with the intention of wandering. That's still an intention. But if you just drive, just kind of run into stuff and you go, like no intention, just meandering, you're going to get nowhere. But if you know where you want to go, you're much more likely. See, you got the GPS. That's intention. GPS is your intention. Yes. Intention is your GPS. You're more likely to get where you're going. You following me? Okay, stick with me. Studies in psychology show intention matters a boatload. When you set specific intentional goals, you're more likely to have the outcomes you're looking for. You're more likely to have happiness and outcomes you care about. Outcomes you care about are actually the quote in a study that I read from 2020 about this. When you set specific intentional goals, it's your GPS. It's your GPS. You're more likely to get the outcomes you're looking for. And why? Because of everything I've said up until now. That's why. They had to do a big old psychological study about this to show that it's true. But it's true. Duh. I mean, it's like one of the biggest no-brainers in the world, but we don't talk about it. That's why it's important to talk about it, because intention matters that much. Your life depends on it. The happiness of your life depends on you knowing what you want and actually keeping it in the front of your mind, keeping it on the post-it note on your mirror. You see how it works? So what is it that holds us back? Can you answer that? Do you know what it is that holds you back? For most people, it's the same thing. Fear. Fear. Fear of something. Fear of looking foolish, fear of failing, fear of not getting what we try for. What if I try and I don't get it? What if you don't try and you don't get it? One of those is a guarantee. The other one, you actually have a little shot, right? So which one do you want? Do you want to roll over, play dead, and not get what you want guaranteed? Or do you want to make an effort and have a wonderful adventure trying to get there? Even if you don't hit the mark, if the arrow gets close to the center of that, that's something. Because you know what? You get that boost of achievement. But people oftentimes, me included, will talk myself out of doing the thing I want to do because of fear, which is such bullshit. We got to push through it. The author Alice Walker wrote, "People do not wish to appear foolish. To avoid the appearance of foolishness, they're willing to remain actually fools." And she's talking about fear there. You don't want to look foolish. What if I try and I don't make it? What if I go for something big and I don't achieve it? What if I launch a video channel and people laugh at me? Who cares? This is all fleeting. Who cares? Do it for you. Do it for you. Have fun with it. Life's an adventure. It's meant to be lived, this life of ours. So go for it. Intention. And you know what's really exciting? Even if you don't get what you want, there's something about intention that is super powerful. Did you know that when your actions align with your intentions, it gives you a sense of control over your life? You ever feel out of control of your life? You ever feel like I'm not getting what I want, and you feel kind of like you're adrift? Let me ask you something. Do you know someone who is completely out of control with their life? Their life is just a wreck and they're just directionless. And, think of that person. We all have somebody in our lives, some family member or somebody. Do you think they have intentions? Can you tell me what their intentions are? Can you tell yourself? Because in most cases, when people feel completely adrift like that, it's because they don't know where they're going. They don't have intentions. They don't have goals. They don't have meaning. They don't have purpose. That's how big it is. You find somebody out there on the street who's just struggling, I guarantee they don't have intention. They don't have purpose. They don't have meaning. How do you get meaning and purpose? Intention's a great place to start. And the good news is this: research has also shown that control is the cornerstone of happiness. That's how big it is. Control is the cornerstone of happiness. How do you get control? Well, by having intention. By having intention, you're going towards something. You have some control over your life, over your destiny, over your end result, over where you are going. You get up every day with a little more happiness, a little more intention, a little more really drive to get out of bed. That's all it takes. Isn't that wild? And it's the cornerstone of happiness. This is a quote out of, again, that same research paper I read from 2020. Incredible. I mean, it's so little, right? But it seems so obvious. Like, clearly, Thoreau was talking about it over 100 years ago. Alice Walker's talking about it now. There's quotes coming out our ears. Wayne Dyer, great dead people, talked about this long ago. That's how big it is and how well it's known. Are you using it? What's on your list? What are you doing to get closer to that thing that you want? Or have you even identified it yet? Write it down. You want to put it into action? You want to really test yourself? You want to put it out there? Take the first step if you're nervous about it? If you're nervous about it, do this. Write what your intention is in the notes. Make a comment in the comment section. Just write, my intention is to this. Please don't say some horrible crime. No, I don't need that. But put your intention in there. The thing about that is the power of actually writing it down and putting it in front of yourself is really good. The power of putting it out into the world, it's a little vulnerable. It's a little risky. It's a little dangerous. But you know what? It'll underline it for you in a beautiful way. That little risk will give you a little bit of a boost in getting towards it. Now you've made it official. It's all in black and white. It's in writing. And you know what? Put it in the notes. I'd love to see what your intentions are. I don't care if this video is 10 years old or 15 years old. Put it in the notes. I may be dead. Write it down, because it's not for me. It's for the rest of the world to see. You proclaiming from the top of the building, this is what I want. Now, will you get it? Don't know. But you're much more likely to get it by writing it down and going for it. So what's there to lose? Are you afraid? Screw that. Screw fear. Go towards it. You're good enough. You're strong enough. You're smart enough. Go get it. You still don't know? You're still not sure? You're still uneasy? Make an appointment with me. Use the link in the show notes. And we'll do a 30-minute discovery call for free. If we fit, I'll walk you through this thing. We'll get you pointed in the right direction. And you know what? We'll get your GPS set up. We'll get you going exactly where you need to go. What are you doing today? What are you doing today to move closer to that? Get on it. Intention is that big. There may be nothing bigger in terms of personal happiness than the simple act of having an intention. What do you think of that? Wild. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my channel. If you haven't checked out the Soul Podcast yet, check it out. It's a great show. It's the longer form versions of topics like these. I think you'll like it. I'll see you on the next video.